Hi, I'm Paula Stoddard from Quiltmaker magazine.
And I'm Carolyn from Quiltmaker magazine. Behind us is our exclusive 2015 online Block of the Month quilt, Quilty Baskets.
We're really excited about this design, so we're offering it in 3 different colorways. You can see it in the green version behind us, and we're also offering it in a red and brown version and a blue and yellow version.
To sew along with us, you have 2 options. You can either purchase a kit monthly that includes the pattern along with the fabric to make 1 basket block and 1 string piece block, or you can purchase the pattern separately monthly.
All 12 of the basket blocks have the same basic layout. The only difference between the blocks is this small block that's inserted in each basket. So I'm going to show you how to make the basket block. The first thing you'll need to do is make your triangle squares. You'll make 6 of them using the brown and the background fabric, and you'll make 2 triangle squares using another color here in the center. Then you'll need to make your small block here, and it's made using several small triangle square blocks and a couple of larger triangles. You'll put those together into a small block. Then you're going to add your small rectangles on the sides and your 2 rectangles on the top and the bottom. Then you're going to put your block together. The first thing you'll do is sew these pieces together, then these pieces into a row, these pieces into a row, these 2 into a row. Then you're going to sew the rows together, all 5 of them. So you'll have 1 large triangle when you're all done. Then you'll make this triangle section by sewing, you already have your block here completed. You'll sew these 2 triangles onto this section. Then you're going to sew this large triangle to this large triangle to make 1 large square. Then you'll add this side basket piece here, this side piece here to add the base of your basket. The very last thing you'll do is add your last background triangle. And when you're all done, you will have a basket block that looks just like this.
With each monthly pattern, you will also get a template to make your string piece block. And you'll notice that it has a line here, and this is going to be used as your guide when you sew your first strips on. The first thing you'll do is to roughly cut out about a 1/2 inch around your triangle. You'll be sewing on the wrong side, the unprinted side of your triangle. So what I like to do, just to give myself a guide, is to fold the paper along this solid line and use that as a guide to position my first strips. I've got 2 strips positioned right sides together that I pin along that folded line that I made, and then I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch from the edge. Once I've sewn that seam, I can remove the pins and press this open. So I've got the first 2 strips sewn onto my triangle, and you can see they are extending beyond the edges of the triangle, and that's what you want to do. Now from here you can start adding strips on both sides until you completely cover the triangle. Here I have the next 2 strips sewn on. We'll go ahead and press those open and continue in the same manner, adding strips to both sides. You can see here that I've completely covered the whole triangle with strips of fabric extending beyond all the edges. Looks like this. And we're going to want to trim on the solid line at this point. And here is my trimmed triangle. You'll make 4 of these each month. You'll leave the paper in until you've sewn these triangles into blocks or into the other patches that you need in your quilt. One thing you might want to consider when you're string piecing your blocks is that you might want to reduce your stitch length. It'll make it easier to pull the paper out at the end. So here you can see I've got 4 red triangles string pieced and 4 blue triangles string pieced. You can sew them together into blocks like this each month, or if you prefer to wait until each monthly kit comes with a different variety of fabric, you can sew them together at the end. We hope you'll sew along with us for our online Block of the Month.
Follow us on our social media so that you can see where you can post your blocks for all of us to see.